Guys, welcome to American Horror Story Broken Down.
No, I don't think that's what it's called.
American Horror Story Coven Broken Down.
Coven Broken Down? Wait, dude, it has broken down in the title?
This is I'm loving the Coven.
All right, Elliott, I'm sorry.
Loving the Coven. Welcome to American Horror Story Loving the Coven. We're going to talk about the episode, which is going to include spoilers, as episode reviews tend to do. Yes. So if you haven't seen it, of course, click out. The last we left off...
Wait, I hope someone gets pregnant in the Coven. Sarah was saying, like, what if Cordelia is pregnant from Mr. Witch Hunter Man, which would be kind of cool. Doesn't matter.
That's Steve Zaragoza, by the way.
I would love it if...
That's Elliott Morgan.
Yeah.
And Dani Rosenberg.
Hi.
I hope that at some point...
Not even missing a beat.
There is a pregnant person in the Coven so that we can say there's a Coven in the oven.
A bun in the Coven?
A bun in the Coven.
There's a bun in the oven in the Coven.
There's an oven in the Coven.
So we left off with Kathy Bates' head getting and showing up at the doorstep of the Coven.
I was thinking about you all night because she did all the things coming out of her mouth.
I know, I love her so much.
She's straight comedic relief.
Yeah.
At this point, yeah.
It's either comedic relief or it's like, yeah, like we are all equal. Like it's never like they used her to laugh and then they used her to be like, discrimination is bad.
They go back to Marie Laveau's house and you just see her body still there without the head.
Yeah, and it's like shooting flies. That's good. All right, well we have to start off with like the backstory of old Joe Beretta in the show.
Joe Beretta, yeah.
Yeah, Hank's got a little backstory. And by the way, were you guys surprised? Because I wasn't surprised.
Here's what I was surprised of. It says 1991 and they show a 8, 9, 10-year-old boy.
Yeah.
That dude's not 30.
Well, he would like to be.
Yeah. I thought it was gonna be little Kyle, and then I remember I think that dude was born in like 91, 92.
He might have had a growth spurt or something. You late bloomer.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the kid who's like in 1991. He's like, what's his name? It's Hank.
You're talking about how old he is now, though.
Yeah,
yeah. What
91.
I'm saying is when he was
That's only 20 years ago.
Yeah, but we don't know that when he's that young that he's like maybe he just looks young and he's actually older than he really is.
Okay.
I'm not delving that deep into.
That's all I'm saying. And I'm also saying,
this is what you come here for.
Steve over here.
You come here for in-depth conversations.
Wait,
Captain called it over here. I was like, I know a witch is gonna come running out of that.
Well,
that
obviously,
brush.
it's called American Horror Story Coven, Steve.
Yeah, but it could have just been like they
Don't
were.
talk.
It could have been
Don't
that the
you-
dad is
don't-
teaching them how to hunt.
We're wasting
wolves.
so much time.
So much.
When I was under the covens with my wife last night, we were
Look.
watching the story.
So anyway, it turns out that Hank has a past. He grew up in a family of witch
Hank has a
hunters.
past?
Hank has a past.
My God, I'm glad he does.
What is happening?
His dad is a witch hunter, and they belong to like a freaking
Delphi Trust Corporation.
Crazy,
White
but
people,
even before that, yeah, exactly. It's this huge corporation where they're like infiltrating the government,
They're
but
like,
they're also witch
hunters. Put that bitch down.
Yeah, exactly.
They kept saying it. You gotta put her down. Put her down.
Which was, I mean,
and my little feminist soapbox inside was like,
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's what it is.
But then I was like,
mean,
but they're gonna get humbled.
My
meant to
conservative
do that.
roots were like, oh, okay, really, yeah, okay, really, you're gonna attack the hunters now?
It
You're
was
gonna stereotype
interesting
hunters?
because they did show a little bit of
Elliott.
like,
They've attacked everyone. Let's go to the hunting community.
Yeah,
now.
the hunting
what are
community.
they up to?
Gosh.
But I do love the fact that we have this like hunting, like it is really cool. It kind of harkens back to like when I was watching Lost, and what really got me into Lost was them setting up the universe that this island exists in with the Dharma Initiative. And I'm like, ooh, the Dharma Initiative is so cool. Oh, really? You didn't like the Dharma Initiative?
I didn't watch the show because it was a lot of homework, and everyone I saw watching it was really unhappy.
You can turn your brain off while you watch it.
That is a good way
American
to describe
Horror
anybody who's ever watched Lost.
No, I mean, but if you're the kind of person that likes watching things that require maybe a little bit of homework or a couple of like, you afterwards you have a discussion like very much like we're doing right now about it, then I think that's a good
I'm just saying, I
thing.
saw a lot of people who were getting straight A's if it was a class, and were so sad.
I love Lost. I still stand by that show. But I just love that they're setting up this kind of this world where there are witch hunters kind of like out in the world, and it is sort of like they're a shadow organization.
It makes
it totally broadens it.
It increases the scope of the entire show.
Yeah, it's not just New Orleans, it's all over the world. But also I thought it was like it started to get slightly cheesy because like they're sitting in this boardroom and he's like, I thought we were witch hunters. And it's like
then he goes, don't forget what they are. And then he just spouts off this manifesto.
Yeah, that was cool. I like the manifesto. But I want them to come up with something a little different than just witch hunters.
The whole episode is laced with a lot of cheese.
It's just a little,
And like cheese is good in this show.
It's the cheese whizziest.
But it's the cheese, it is for, cheese wittiest. But so Hank, anyway, we find out, isn't just working for Madame Laveau and the Voodoo Queen. He's actually a part of this whole organization, and all of that was a part of him trying to like prove himself as a son. So you get kind of this like borderline sympathetic feel with him, where all of a sudden you realize that there's more to Hank than just being a maniacal person.
You get confirmation that it's not really his liking to do it.
He might have feelings.
He fell in love with Cordelia.
He did fall in love with her, and by the end of the episode, you really do see where his allegiance lies.
Yeah,
and it's with the bitches.
By the way, that was cool. That was a cool reveal. I was not expecting that. Were you guys expecting that? You were expecting that?
The moment I saw him putting the gun together, I was like, he's going to blow up the voodoo people.
I didn't even think about it.
He was going to be like, Cordelia kicked me out.
No, but that's the thing.
When Queenie snatches the head or whatever after she's told to burn it, so that's a little secret Queenie has. She's got herself a little pet.
She's hiding it upstairs.
She decides to do a civil rights lesson on Kathy Bates and put her on this table, which is the most ridiculous looking thing. Like you can tell Kathy Bates is
though.
Oh, it's fun. It's great. Yeah. But I just imagine Kathy Bates sitting there, got her hair done and her makeup with the green
with her green sock bodysuit on.
But so Queenie's got her in there. But the moment she took her out and put her on the table, I was like, okay. I was like, something's gonna go down in this house. I felt.
Oh, interesting. I didn't get that from that.
I didn't at all.
I think that's why I like you guys so much, is because we all bring 3 different perspectives to a television show that we're reviewing for you guys right now.
We'll see in just a bit.
Moving along.
We'll be right back.
We'll cut to commercials.
So, Dani, don't you ever goddamn undercut me on camera again. Do you understand? I'm a host!
Undercut?
I don't understand.
What does that even mean? Was that a fighting term?
It's just you undercut me earlier when you were like...
That's how I talk.
You didn't like my puns.
But, so...
Neither did Elliott.
No.
Elliott never likes my puns.
No.
Because he's a smelliot.
I would dare to... I say your puns... if I could rip them apart, I would say that that's the only way they could be more terrible.
Were you trying to do a pun?
Do you see? Terrible and rip?
Okay.
You can cut the tension in this
I'm
room
so
with
tired right now.
So we have, we also have Auntie Myrtle with her melon baller.
The minute I saw that melon baller, I was like,
really? I didn't know. I didn't know. Like,
me and Dani, we're picking up on stuff, Steve.
I'm not Captain Calden anymore, I guess.
But I'm glad they showed it. Well, they showed the full scoop.
I know, but it's so weird because, like, for what's happening, because I thought Myrtle was very by the book and very...
She got burned at the stake. She's upset.
Yeah.
I would come back and be like, really?
I was with her though until it cuts to Myrtle just like dicing it up,
like laughing,
like rubbing the feet together.
She's like, by the way, those looked very real.
That was so gross.
Yeah,
that like upset me.
And she's just throwing them Breaking Bad style into a
acid that's boiling.
I was just giggling with delight. I loved it.
And I also love the whole, like, the writer, chuckled to himself or herself when they wrote the episode. It's very, writers can be women or men. Did you know that in the industry?
Good dose of political correctness.
There's that moment when Myrtle is talking to Fiona, and Fiona's like, I could have you banished, and let's just call the council right now. And she's like, I hear the council is,
not seeing anyone.
Yeah, they're not seeing anyone right now! And I love my puns! And that was so good. Because
really
not
good.
only are they dead, but their eyes are gone.
I do love that they put 2 new eyeballs in Sarah Paulson's face, and one is very much Sarah Paulson's own eyeball.
Yeah.
And then a contact.
And then a very
love
obvious
it, though.
contact.
I think it's great.
Also, she took one eye from both of them, so shouldn't have it been more like, I hear the council has poor depth perception right now. They still had an eye, but they were also in a bucket of acid, so the pun didn't work anyway.
Thank you, Elliott.
You guys, we gotta get away from these puns. We gotta.
Never. So Cordelia can see now, which is great. She's back. No more egg drops or teapot.
That was stressing me out.
spills.
I was like, what are you doing trying to make an omelet right now?
Listen, she's filming an infomercial.
Even people who can see can't not get shells in their omelets. Yeah. And she blind.
Has this ever happened to you? But yeah, it's
she pushes it off. Like, did she lose touch?
I
too?
mean, she's used to the counter having something else.
I
there,
wish she
guess.
would have touched the eggs and then seen the eggs fall.
Anyway, we also have Nan at the hospital with the neighbor boy, and he's in a coma.
We got to hear Patti LuPone sing this week.
Yeah, that was
sweet.
nice.
That was great.
That was nice.
That was the
Take a closer
moment,
walk
and
with me.
DJ and I were talking about this, that was the moment when she started singing where I thought that the show was actually going to legitimately surprise me, and somebody who was of faith or was even remotely conservative was not going to be a crazy psycho murderer in some way. And I was like, oh, this is an interesting,
Nope.
twist. Nope.
There's no such thing as a normal
She pulled an
family in
Alicia
this show.
Silverstone in The Crush and dropped some bees on her husband.
Dude, that's cold as ice.
I loved the fake head they had in there, the makeup on the guy that they showed after
really
the bees.
cool.
It was cool.
It was pretty good. Do you think that he beehived in there?
So, but anyway, after that happened, Nan and this mother kind of
Was
bond
she on
a
her
little
best
bit.
behavior?
I'm gonna
And-
kill you.
Anyway, this
Sting.
little neighbor boy is like talking clairvoyantly, and apparently, when you die, God's just like gonna tell you all the secrets that you were curious about. He's like waiting up there like a schoolgirl. So the
Guess
moment
what?
you die,
Guess
like,
what?
Your mom
Oh
killed your
my
father.
God.
Your mom
He's
killed your
not
father.
dead though. He's just a well.
But he said God told him.
Yeah.
So let's say for a moment that God told
God
us
is
because it's the
all-knowing.
show. So he wakes up and immediately he's like, "Hey, here's your secret. It's the dead of night in the hospital, and you're the only one in the room with me." And of course, she's like, "Here's a pillow," and she kills.
She
her
killed
own
his son.
Yeah.
This makes no
Here's
sense.
where I'm at is
No, it doesn't make it makes
Why-
perfect sense.
why are they keeping that woman around? She
Yeah.
better be integral to the season finale.
No, I'm sure
or
she will
why? What you know?
Why
what?
they brought her back to
Sometimes-
life to kill at least a somewhat
Sometimes
compelling
this
character.
show can have so many characters that they kind of just lose track, and they're like,
There's got to be
you
a
know?
reason
Yep.
for her to be. There's has to be. I'm going to stand by the fact
Please.
that there has to be a reason for this woman to be important at this point.
Yeah, I really want. them
Because
to-
we've got Nan, who we
maybe,
feel
I
bad
hope.
for. I honestly think we've got Nan and her.
even
own
if they just
little-
use her as a human shield during a shootout.
I
Yeah.
think
Something.
I-
Literally
here's-
utilitarian.
Here's my prediction for that slight storyline. It's going to be all about Nan because Nan was basically in love with that boy, and now he's dead. And who knows? Maybe they'll Frankenstein that guy back to life for Nan to have sex with in her room.
I really
They won't
don't
do that.
want them to.
No, they may not, but it doesn't matter. I think the
Ew,
story.
Nan.
I know we love Nan,
I
but my
love her,
idea is that it's gonna come down to Nan and the evil religious lady, and maybe Nan's gonna get revenge and kill the religious lady in a fun
But the
way.
problem is, I don't care about that plot.
I do in a way because I care about Nan.
But vengeance isn't enough. If there's something on the line with the vengeance, then it makes it compelling. But if it's just this girl who's really angry and getting mad, then that's not like I don't want to see Nan do that. Like you don't. Revenge is like fun to watch, but it's not compelling unless there's like something on the line.
Yeah, I mean,
And there's nothing on the line if he's dead.
Yeah.
But I mean, you get the idea that Nan is kind of underappreciated, and she probably doesn't have love in
I
her
feel
life.
like we're disagreeing a lot on this particular episode. It's interesting.
I like that.
It is
Me
though.
too. It's
good.
a lot.
I
I
like
still love you. My favorite quote of the episode was when it's Emma Roberts and she's in the hospital room with Nan and the mother, and she just goes, "God works in mysterious ways, Judy. Roll with it." I cracked up. I want that as a bumper sticker.
I love that you
Almost
and Madison
mysterious
have like she's kind of your
She's
favorite.
my favorite. Yeah.
This is great.
No, I don't think she might be my favorite.
I
Almost
loved-
mysterious ways.
My favorite
favorite-
is Stevie Nicks. I love
Yeah, I
the
know
Dixie
you
Queen.
do.
Or
She's
what's her
great.
name? The
Misty Day.
Misty Day.
My favorite quote was, fucking Jessica Lange's got that dog, and she says to Hank, "Females are more aggressive or more loyal and more aggressively like defensive of their family."
Yep.
Yeah.
And I
Oh, yeah,
like
that was nice.
That
That
was
was
in
nice.
response to Hank saying, "Because bitches stick together."
Yeah.
He was
God.
trying to spar with her, and she was like, "Nah, "No."
Yeah.
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 Ha, your box is
Maybe
broken.
she had to resort to her stupid tricks.
And then, following her around the corner, she walks into the room and finds Frankenstein, young man, and
Oh, a fly!
and then he,
For real?
Yeah.
and then the dog goes in there, and you want me to say that again? You want to cut around that? Okay, cool. And so the dog goes in there, and then the guy has my reaction when I see dogs, like verbatim, because I never see a dog, I go, "Dog!"
Yeah.
And then, unlike
do, though.
me, he snapped to the dog's neck.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Well.
And I kept
mean,
thinking about that poor dog. I'm sure he wanted a recurring arc.
Yeah.
He sure
Sorry.
did. He
And
was
it's like
excited to be a part of the
residuals,
show.
Maybe.
Yeah.
She'll get him.
His agent was like,
She-
"What?" His dog agent.
I also liked. There was a line from Kathy Bates in the episode that I thought was great, but I can't remember it. It was like. It was like,
Oh,
she
what is
said, like,
this? What is this fresh hell?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
that, and then
yeah.
she said something about oblivion, like my oblivion or something like that. I
Oh,
can't
when
remember.
right before she gets tossed in the fire, she's like, "Sweet."
She doesn't get tossed in the
Well,
floor.
before
right
she's going
about
to.
be. She was like,
She was?
Well, they
Did I miss that?
Marie
"Well, the voodoo
Laveau.
queen. That's not Queenie. She doesn't know Queenie has the head because she thinks that she tossed her in the fire.
Yeah, Marie Laveau said, "Toss her head in the fire."
Sweet, something.
My
long
sweet
last or something like
oblivion.
that.
At long last, my sweet. Yeah, something like that. But I love it. I love her dialogue so
Yeah.
much. And then her like, and then she's,
I literally was like, I'm gonna use that.
well, and I love her like she's brought to tears from watching like all that stuff. So she's maybe she sees the light. I hearken it to the scene where Jake sees the light in the
We
church
should definitely
in Blues
talk
Brothers.
about that because that ending scene was this juxtaposition between all of the civil rights footage that Kathy Bates is watching and then all of the voodoo witches getting shot down. And I was like,
Oh, interesting.
And it was moving and emotional, but I was also having trouble trying to draw connections between them.
I didn't.
And I'm like, maybe that's
Now
just...
that you mention it, though, I do see that because there is a lot of oppression with African American people happening in the old footage, like people being dragged out and beaten, and then it's like the guy coming in and shooting all the voodoo
See,
people.
here's the problem though
Interesting.
that sometimes I have with this show is I don't get like offended at the story arcs and all that and like how they mess with certain demographics, like that's fine. But there was something about that like really rubbed me the wrong way because when you mix actual history with fiction, I think it needs to be done in a way that's like
You gotta
very
be careful.
Yeah, sure.
And this way almost seemed very like, oh, and we'll have the music play and it'll be weird and the head's watching it and she's learning and she's getting a lesson and meanwhile this witch hunter's coming in and killing all the voodoo people.
Yeah,
And
you're
it's just
you're mixing a lot of supernatural
It's-
fiction with
yeah.
really heavy shit.
And I'm not saying that I didn't like it, it just was very like, ugh.
Walking out of this episode, though, earlier in the episode, Jessica Lange had gone to Marie Laveau and said, we need to stick together. Like, there's witch hunters out there. They're going to come after you. And Marie Laveau laughed her out of her shop.
Yeah, yeah.
And then she came to her at the end of the night. And so
First time you ever see Marie Laveau on
Yeah.
the property.
Yeah.
of the Coven.
and they're coming together. And there's earlier in the episode a mention it was between Myrtle and Jessica Lange, where basically Cordelia was like, the enemy is outside, not in here. Like, we need to be together. And I'm really excited because that was episode 9. So we have about 3 more episodes in the season.
Yeah.
And I want to see that united front. And I want to see Angela Bassett and Jessica Lange have an amazing,
Yeah.
badass battle.
Bury the hatchet, get over that past crap.
Put their
and
powers
figure out
together.
What the future's gonna be.
Yeah.
Cool, and you got 3 episodes. It makes perfect sense in terms of like what's this, the 9th, and there's 3 more, so we're entering.
Yeah,
into
but we have this
essentially the
big,
4th act.
we have a big break
4
though,
left,
which is
okay.
crazy
3rd act.
because it comes back
Christmas.
January 8th or
Yeah.
something, right?
Yeah.
So we
Which is good. I don't
what's
want.
going on?
I don't want no Christmas to roll around and me be like, "Hang on, baby, got a DVR."
I know, but I feel like we already had a week break from Thanksgiving. It's like there's all these holidays that are ruining my show.
That's how it happens every year, baby.
No.
Guys,
Alright.
tell us what your favorite part of the episode was, and make sure to share this particular video. Get in on the conversation down below. We'll be down there chatting, having a good time. Also, if you want to check out the second season is now available on Netflix.com/SourceFed. Get a free month of streaming, and then watch all of it that you possibly can. Like and subscribe. Click all the annotations for all the other videos. My name is Elliott Morgan.
I'm Dani Rosenberg.
I'm Steve Zaragoza.
What fresh hell is this?
What fresh hell is this?